Have you ever wondered how much time you truly have left after turning 65? As we move beyond this age, every year becomes even more meaningful. Interestingly, our bodies start dropping subtle hints, not in dramatic ways but through quiet signs about how well we're aging. Some people remain active, alert, and full of energy into their 70s and 80s, while others begin to slow down and struggle with fatigue or health issues. So what makes the difference? In this video, we'll break down 7 powerful health signals your body may be showing, clues that doctors and researchers believe can reflect how many good years you have ahead. These aren't guesses or folk wisdom, they're based on science and real-life patterns observed in those who live longer, healthier lives. Watch until the end because you might be missing small signs that could make a major difference in your future. Dive in is don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss more empowering health content like this. Sign number 1. Your walking pace. You might be surprised to learn that one of the most accurate indicators of how long you might live after age 65 isn't found in a blood test or your family history. It's your walking speed. Studies have consistently shown that older adults who walk at a steady, brisk pace tend to live longer than those who move slowly. Why? Because walking speed reflects the strength of your muscles, the health of your heart, and even how well your brain is functioning. For example, imagine 2 men, both 70. Sam walks daily, moves confidently across crosswalks, and climbs stairs with ease. Mark, however, has started to slow down, needs more breaks, and feels unsteady. Sam's pace shows physical resilience. Mark's slower movement might be a sign of weakening muscles or early neurological decline. The good news? You can improve walking speed with light daily exercise, short walks, and strengthening your legs. How you move through life, quite literally, reflects how long you'll keep moving. Sign number 2. Grip strength. Yes, something as simple as how strongly you can squeeze a hand may say a lot about your future health. In fact, grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of long-term health and longevity in older adults. Let's look at 2 men, Robert and George, both 68. Robert still carries grocery bags with ease and opens jars without help. George, on the other hand, has started struggling with tasks like twisting bottle caps or holding on to heavier objects. A weakening grip can signal declining muscle mass, poor circulation, and even rising frailty. But you can strengthen your hands with simple actions like squeezing a stress ball, using hand grips, or carrying light weights. If your grip is fading, take action, because it's not just about holding things. It's about holding on to your strength and independence. At 72, Eleanor Blake didn't think twice about her balance. Until the afternoon, she bent to retrieve a dropped envelope and felt the room tilt, as if the floor were a ship's deck in rough seas. The stumble was minor, a quick grab at the hallway wall, yet it left her heart pounding with an unfamiliar fear that lingered even after she steadied herself. Eleanor had always prided herself on her independence. She did her own grocery runs, planted marigolds in neat rows, and climbed the 3 porch steps with the brisk assurance of someone decades younger. But as she replayed that sudden lurch, she realized she had been gradually relying on countertops, railings, and pieces of furniture without ever naming the dependence. A week later, her daughter Julia visited and suggested a simple test the family doctor had shared. "Mom, stand on 1 foot, arms at your sides, eyes forward. Let's see how long you can hold." Eleanor lifted her right foot, intent on proving she was fine, but within 2 seconds her ankle wobbled and she had to catch Julia's arm. Embarrassment flushed her cheeks. Her body had betrayed her confidence. Julia explained that the ability to balance for 10 seconds on one leg was no parlor game. It correlated strongly with longevity because it drew upon muscle strength, joint stability, proprioception, vision, and the brain's coordination centers all at once. Across town, Eleanor's childhood friend, Janet Ruiz, illustrated the other side of that coin. Janet, also 72, had taken up Tai Chi in a community center after retirement. She could glide from a rooted stance into a slow-motion crane pose, one leg lifted, arms extended like wings, breathing in a rhythmic calm that cleared the chatter from her mind. Her instructor likened balance to an orchestra. If the strings of leg muscles, the brass of inner ear cues, and the percussion of reflexes stayed in tune, the body's symphony played on. When one section faltered, the whole performance faltered. Janet felt that harmony every time she reached the 10-second mark with ease, sometimes challenging herself by closing her eyes for the final counts. The contrast between the friends became stark one Saturday when they met at the farmer's market. Janet strode confidently across an uneven gravel lot, canvas tote swinging from her forearm, while Eleanor picked her way over the stones, gaze fixed on the ground, her hands half raised as though to touch invisible handrails. Over a cup of herbal tea, Eleanor confessed the envelope incident and her failed one-leg test. Janet listened, then shared her Tai Chi story, emphasizing that she, too, had once been shaky and that balance could be rebuilt like any other skill. She described small, be another resolution left to wilt like forgotten greens in the fridge. The first session was humbling. Eleanor's calves burned as she shifted weight from heel to ball. Her arms trembled in slow arcs, but she felt an awakening in muscles that had dozed for years. Week after week, she noticed changes. Rising from a chair without using her hands, pivoting to greet a neighbor without the brief spin of dizziness, and, most gratifying, surpassing the 10-second one-leg stand while Julia timed her with triumphant applause. The renewed stability spilled into other parts of her life. She ventured onto garden stepping stones again, resurrected her tradition of ladder-free window washing, and even enrolled in a low-impact dance class, delighting in spins that once would have toppled her. Meanwhile, Julia observed the transformation with relief, knowing statistics had shifted in her mother's favor, not merely because her feet were surer, but because that surety signaled robust neural pathways, responsive vestibular systems, and resilient leg muscles, all hallmarks of healthier aging. Eleanor now reminds friends that balance isn't just about not falling. It's about remaining upright in every sense, physically, mentally, emotionally, so the years ahead are defined by choice and confidence, not caution tape and canes. And each morning, before the kettle whistles, she stands barefoot in the kitchen's sunrise glow, lifts one foot, breathes deeply, counts past 10, and feels time itself steady beneath her. Sign number 4. Sleep quality. How well do you sleep at night? Restful sleep is critical for longevity, not just for energy, but for brain health, immune strength, and overall function. Consider David and Ben, both 75. David sleeps 7 hours a night, follows a routine, and wakes up feeling energized. Ben struggles with restless nights, frequent awakenings, and daytime fatigue. Poor sleep over time can lead to memory issues, heart problems, and low immunity. If you're tossing and turning often, don't ignore it. Things like reducing screen time, avoiding late-night snacks, and getting morning sunlight can help regulate your sleep cycle. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for staying well as you age. Sign number 5, appetite and nutrition. How's your appetite these days? A sudden drop in hunger, skipping meals, or unintentional weight loss after 65 can be warning signs. When your body isn't getting the right nutrients, muscle loss, weakness, and immune issues can follow. Take Margaret and Susan, both 74. Margaret still enjoys her meals, eats whole foods, and keeps her strength up. Susan, however, often feels full quickly, eats less, and has dropped weight without trying. Losing interest in food isn't just aging. It could be a symptom of a health issue, cognitive change, or depression. Focus on balanced meals, rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Keep yourself hydrated. If eating feels like a chore, talk to a doctor. Your appetite may be telling you something deeper. Sign number 6. Stress response. How do you handle stress now compared to when you were younger? Your emotional resilience can significantly affect how long and how well you live. 2 men, John and Richard, both 76. John copes with stress through breathing techniques, staying active, and staying socially engaged. Richard, however, lets anxiety linger and often gets overwhelmed. Chronic stress increases inflammation, raises blood pressure, and can shorten life expectancy. Learning to manage stress through walks, social support, mindfulness, or humor can make a real difference in how gracefully you age. Sign number 7. Social connection. One of the most overlooked health factors in older adults is loneliness. Staying connected isn't just about avoiding boredom. It's directly linked to lower risk of heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. Meet Eleanor and Barbara, both 78. Eleanor enjoys weekly calls with her children, attends a book club, and feels connected. Barbara rarely talks to friends or family anymore and feels more isolated each day. Social bonds stimulate the brain, boost mood, and even improve immune function. Even if you're naturally introverted, staying connected in some way. Now that you've learned these 7 important signs, take a moment to think about where you stand.
Now, I hope you are confident if you part ado, you are nigh you end.
Are you walking with confidence, sleeping well, maintaining friendships and a strong grip? The best part? These are modifiable factors. It's never too late to start walking more, strengthening your hands, improving balance, sleeping better, eating smarter, managing stress, and reconnecting with others. Your goal shouldn't just be to live longer, but to live stronger and with purpose. Because at the end of the day, a good life isn't just about years added to your lifespan, it's about life added to your years. If you found this helpful, leave a comment below, sharing which sign surprised you the most and what you're planning to work on. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss more empowering health content like this. Thank you for being here. Stay strong, stay curious, and keep living fully.